So the moment we've all been dreading for is finally here. The moment that we all have to come to terms with the fact that Love Island is finally over, and we all need to find something else to do with our evenings for another year. As usual, the final week dragged on a bit. Alex. Oh drive. There's no chance of any new bombshells coming in, no massive twists, and of course because the final is so close, none of the Islanders are dumb enough to do something as ridiculous as say, right, drive dump their partner. Alex George? Alex no. Alex is a doctor, so he's obviously not stupid, but I challenge any right-minded human being to find the logic in him dumping Alexandra literally 5 days before the final. This is going to sound strange, but I genuinely think in some kind of smug, self-righteous, narcissistic way, Alex really thought he was untouchable enough to make it all the way to the final as a single couple. Being on the show a long time, you get a feeling for how your public perception is going mainly from how you perform during votes. And because bombshells can tell you how you're doing from a public perspective. I think Alex was well aware of this after being in the villa for 7 weeks, and I reckon it may have gone to his head. He probably thought dumping Alexandra was going to make him look like a hero, and people would really respect him for the decision, but this was not the case. After dumping her the first time to try it on with new Laura, then crawling back to her and then dumping her again because he felt they just weren't right for each other, of course the public were furious, and rightly so. It shows really narcissistic tendencies, because to Alex it was just the Alex show, never mind the fact that Alexandra could have had a chance at happiness with one of the other guys. No. To Alex, it was all about him. He wanted to ditch her, then he wanted to give it another chance, and then finally he was dumb enough to ruin any chance for either of them to make it to the final. That Poundland lie detector test never fails to cause drama. Once again, we saw the return of the lie detector test, the baby challenge, and of course the meet the parents scenario. I won't even talk about the baby challenge, because quite frankly it was just boring without cashews. But the lie detector test was pretty entertaining. The fact that the Islanders believe that this Poundland lie detector is actually accurate, and are totally naive to the fact that the producers almost certainly make up the results in order to cause arguments and make some good TV, is actually hilarious. Nobody sits there and thinks, are we actually being completely duped in order to make some good TV? But that's the first thing I'd think. I also think the producers knew that people all were pretty certain of Jack Fincham and Jonny Dyer winning at this point, and they just wanted to cast a bit of doubt out there to make the final a bit more interesting. Either way, it was pretty fun to watch them all lose their minds at the hands of an obviously orchestrated activity in the home stretch of the show. We all wanted the real Jonny Dyer now. On to the meeting of the parents. I'm going to say what we're all thinking. The only reason we wanted to tune into this episode was to see Jonny Dyer, and fair play, we got to see him on Skype, but it just wasn't the same. Other than that, the only chuckle I got was Alexandra's mum ripping into Alex. No prisoners taken there. So that leaves the final. I think all the finalists were pretty obvious at that stage, other than Paul, who, no offense Paul, was just in the right place at the right time. He just kinda stumbled in when Laura Anderson was most vulnerable just before the final week. Brought absolutely nothing to the show, had 5 minutes of airtime, but then somehow ended up in the final. Laura and Paul, now a lot of people were shocked that they came second, but not me personally. Crazy world. Laura really did have a hard time in there, and I know she moaned, but she was very understanding and mature the whole way through, despite getting used and having her heart broken and confidence shattered. And of course, no shocks here that Jack and Donnie were crowned victorious. I think she needed a win and she deserved second place. They were consistently strong together, and I found Jack pretty damn entertaining the whole way through, so fair play to them. That's it for another year, guys. It's been amazing talking to you all about Love Island. Until next year. Jonny X.